It's great to see you all in this exciting platform. My name is Anna, and I am the one of the founders of Rogue Folks Guild. And I'll just give a brief overview of Rogue Folks Guild, but we'll have exciting videos at the end as well. So Rogue Folks Guild is the first play-to-earn roguelike adventure game. So we're building a super awesome play-to-earn game inspired by indie style, unique art and storytelling, very unique approach. You see these boxes around you in this room, so you'll be able to see kind of the style that we have done by artists who will be speaking here, I think, on the 6th of April as well. So stay in, tune in for her talk as well. Today I want to really talk about essentially what it takes to bootstrap an NFT project, how it's done, and I really want to have a practical guide for you guys to really find out more about the intricacies of launching a project. Because the reality is, I'm sure we've all been to Twitter Spaces and other talks, and a lot of people do talk about the community, the marketing aspects, and few other aspects of launching a collection. But really, I feel that what we need to talk about as well is like, okay, what are the steps? How can we get started? How can you get started? So we have more of these amazing people in the audience, you guys, launching the project of your dreams and kicking off your career as well. All right, so I think that my first message that I've got here is essentially the first act of starting, the first act of getting ahead is just getting started, right? I think this is very important. It's like unless you start, you're not going to get anywhere. So stop procrastinating. Set up a deadline and just do it. And yes, it's a copyrighted line by Nike. I know that. I don't care. In the age of Web3, I don't think we care about using somebody else's lines, right? So I really want to talk about what exactly do you need to get a project started, right? And I've broken this into 5 key steps to launch, right? So the 5 key steps and 5 stages that I've personally done all of them and I've experienced them. And I really want to really talk about the advice and how I've personally experienced this and what I hear from other projects in the space, specifically when it comes to an NFT collection launch. Now, of course, we're doing a game, which is the next stage in our project development. But initially, we started with a 10K NFT collection, which is available as well. So you see the foxes and click on them in the room, and you'll be able to see the collection. So yeah, I mean, look, there is a lot of work to launch an NFT collection. So, but let's face it, that's the truth, okay? But the reality is the process is also fun and engaging, and also you meet a lot of new people along the way. So there is many pros to the process. But I really want to start with where do you start, right? Maybe you have an idea. Where do you start? So my first thing that I would recommend for you guys is to find the dream team. And I think like with any startups, and I've been in like startups generally in the past few years as a founder as well. It's the key is to find the people that you trust, the people that you get along, because essentially you're like a family. Together, you're like a family. You and the founders of the project. So I think some key hires that I want to stress is, of course, number one, artist, right? You may be artists yourselves, but if you aren't, of course, getting an artist to be able to obviously get them involved, make them a partner. Do not offer an artist just a small amount of money or a revenue share only. I don't think that's morally right. Sylvia was going to talk about this a lot, but essentially that happens in the space as well. It's like, well, if you offer a revenue share, there has to be an equal co-founder, right? It's so important to this is the bread and butter for the initially for your collection. and specifically if it's more art collection as well, or a game, something that has a very strong look and feel to it. So I think another hire in the team is developers. Uh, Horror stories around smart contract developers kind of disappearing with the money in the community wallet, or basically dropping last minute. So it's very, very important to have somebody that you can rely on, that just make sure that you can trust the person, so there's no kind of surprises in the last moment, just when you get everything ready to launch, right? You have your community and all of that, and then last minute something happens, and the smart contract it goes wrong, right? I think, of course, mistakes can happen, and of course, this is tech, right? Things can always go wrong, but the key is to handle this well, and at that point, you have a community that trusts you, right? So yeah, you hopefully you get this set up and ready to go, and you handle this well. The other team hires, I would say, are marketing, of course. That's a key hire as well. I think I would say the better person that you have early on, of course, the more chances your project will have to succeed. So I think if you aren't a marketing co-founder, obviously find one. Or if you think that you can do it yourself, prepare for a lot of work. And yeah, so I would say three hire. I mean, community manager is very important as well. So I would say that's the fourth hire. Or again, if you think you can find somebody later from your community, for example, that's a strategy as well. But yeah, that's the three hires there that I think is a must. So arts, development, and marketing, and community manager optionally. Okay, so I think the next thing that I want to talk about is the idea, right? I think it's important to say, essentially, you've got to do a lot of research on what's out there. And at the moment, there is a little bit of a saturation in the market. Like, a lot of things can be done, right? So it's important to think about an original idea, something that you also love, and get started with that, but also research what's out there. Okay, so see what's out there and try to do something different and innovative. And I'll come back to that in a second, around the value proposition that you're creating as an NFT project, right? I'll come back to that in a second. I think some technical detail here: budget and revenue, right? So you have to have an idea why you the size of the collection, how much money it will take to execute on the roadmap that you have and the vision that you have. So I'm not saying you should have everything to a T, because this all of this changes, but I think budgets and essentially getting at least an overview of how much it's going to take you to execute the roadmap is key at this stage. And following from that, I think the next thing. So actually, yeah, that's my other slide. Following from that, we also have the revenue, right? So how much you as the founder are you preparing to give, right? Let's say you have a team. What's going to happen is, of course, people that get involved in the project would want a share of it. If you can't pay upfront, because at the end of the day, this is a talk about bootstrapping. It's not about a corporation having large budgets to start an NFT collection. It's about you guys as individuals starting an NFT collection. So, like, what if you don't have the money? You have to give them something. So you have to give them a big percentage of the revenue, or depends really, or maybe a fixed rates. So you need to compensate. So it's something to think about anyway at this initial stage, which I call groundwork. All right. So I think the next key stage for me is setting the stage. And I really want to talk about what that means. So number one, what is your value proposition? Okay. What makes your project different? There's so many metaverses. Even, to be honest, there's quite a lot of people play to earn games right now. since we started to do this a couple of months ago. So, what is your thing that makes you different? I also see a lot of mission driven projects that obviously talk about the mission that they have, which is, I suppose, some of you may be interested in that approach as well. Which for me, I kind of put, like, for example, we at Rogue Fox Guild, we're giving 10% of the collection to charity. So that's quite a lot. We've been told, right? They said, well, the standard is 2 to 7%. So we give 10% to charity. But the interesting thing is, this is not the core of our project. Uh, what the core is the game, which is called the whole utility, right? The functionality, what's happening after the collection drops. But there are other very much mission-driven projects that also attract a lot of audience that are around. Okay, we're building this for a cause. We're building this to help the climate change, for example. For me, that's obviously great, but I just personally, I'm a bit cautious around. Okay, when you help, right? Say, where is the long term value, right? Is it because otherwise it's just a charity, right? So yes, that's your mission, but where is the utility? How could you make this sustainable in the long term? Or if you can't, then okay, that's fine, but just be clear if it's just like a charity project or a non-for-profit. So people buy the NFT goes to the nation and the founders in most cases, right? Let's face it. Uh, and after that, yeah. So what where is the value with the NFT if it's a one-off transaction? So for me, this is important at this stage, the value proposition. And by the way, I teach people on that in my design coaching that I do. But it's not just creating it in one line. What are you creating in one line? Okay, are there any questions at this point, or do people want to wait until we get to the yeah? So, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you. No questions
Yes,
at
we
the
can.
moment, I think. You can move for you can go on, Anna.
And I have a question
Oh,
on this
sorry.
NFT
Sorry.
again. We can actually take it at the end of the session as well. So you spoke about the budget. Like, I would like to know, like, how do we come up with a rough? If we can give it some more details on the budgeting, that would be great. Maybe we can take it later too.
Yeah, I will answer briefly now, and if there is still lack of clarity, I'll go into more detail at the end. So it really depends on the what you're planning to deliver. So I'll talk a little bit about that actually in the next stage as well, which is essentially website and roadmap. So what is your roadmap? What is the plan? What is the collection for? And based on that, that's where how you create the budget. So, for example, on a play as a play to earn game, right? This is a large project. This is a very much hard to execute because there is a lot of elements involved. You're looking at, say, like they say in the industry, at least I'd say 1 million, right? So you can really say, okay, that's how much I need. That's why I need a larger collection at X amount of price. So that's that. And then obviously, I would say you break me, right? I think that figure is a little bit arbitrary. Is it 5? Is it 20%? So I would say 10% is good numbers. And other kind of whatever you have planned, right, to make this to execute what you've promised. And that this can vary. I mean, a lot of some people have animated film, comics, so you can plan, right? So animated film is also a fairly large endeavor. Looking at depends. It really depends on the details. But let's say 250,000. It's not something you can do for 20 grand to be of the good quality. So I think that you've got to be realistic with what you want to deliver and plan, even if it's rough figures. I think
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, and I think, look, it's all related at this point. I put all of this together because for me, this is the stage where you kind of get yourself ready to face the world, right? You build your website, And obviously that's kind of a job in its own. But you build the first proposition. You don't need to have a collection. You just build compelling arts and compelling messaging, and explain to the world what you're about before you reach out. You go to the next stage and start to advertise yourself, because I mean, you can really start to talk to people, which you see in my next stage, what I'm talking about, like build some networks, build some contacts. But I think it would be nice to point people to a website, or a website that they can see what you're about, because that's your face to the world. I think art concept and brand, I mean, these could be considered two different things, right? Branding is a whole, it's a combination of everything. It's not just the art, but also, you know, everything, like the colors, the typography, the messaging that you have. Are you quirky? Are you bringing hype? Are you more down to earth? You know, all of that is kind of the linked together in the form of branding, which of course the art can reflect. For example, Bored Ape Club. If you know the Bored Apes, if you look at their brand is hip. You know, like hip. I would say street style. You know, that's reflected in the logo, in the website, not just the art itself. So that's what I mean by brand, anyway. So in our case, we're looking for like epic adventure, indie style, kind of a little bit retro at times, but very much custom made art style. Um, yeah, and I think then it comes to only then I think we can talk about starting to set up your channels. So we're talking social media channels. You can choose which ones, right? But the NFT ones are Twitter, most popular. LinkedIn is an amazing tool for building a community as well. I think some of you, there's some people from our community. They kind of came from LinkedIn. That's how I met Candice. That's how I met some of you guys. So yeah, I would say try and start to build your profile there. Start to talk about your project there,
Mm.
and then in terms of community, Discord, of course, as we know, right? That has been the tool. But I mean, there is some talks recently about Discord just being a little bit overwhelming, right? Everyone has multiple channels. So I think Discord is, I don't know, it's a tricky one. I think I still find that as a tool. We have our, I think with Tofu, our community manager here in the audience, you know, our community knows how much work we've put, and that's only possible due to Discord, because we've done a lot of games, a lot of with bots and with various kind of integrations, something that is not possible to do, let's say, if you have a Telegram group. So if you want something more fancy and just having more stuff in your community rather than just chat, then Discord is your tool. If you want to keep it simple, you can take Telegram, and you can take I don't know, other groups. If you're building, let's say, a smaller community as well. So yeah, I think here, step number 3, partner up. This is very important as well. And it's kind of trickier at times as well. So we're looking at reaching to your network, like discussed before. Get the ambassadors or advisors so that may be more experienced. And to be honest, there are so many in the NFT space. Some of you guys might already be advisors in this audience. So maybe you can connect with one another and kind of offer one another services. But I think it's good to get opinions from people that have done it before, whether for percentage or small payment or just NFT payment, however you agree with them. But yeah, it's good to reach out and expand your network, because Web3 is all about networking, and it's all about really making friendships on that front. So I think that's very important. Now, the grant funding routes, I really think that for a lot of projects, specifically utility, there might be still opportunities for that. And obviously, if you're bootstrapping, every grant helps, right? So we were lucky to get a little bit of grant funding from Polygon, the chain. And actually, I haven't included a lot about the technical in the presentation, but there, of course, it's up to you to choose which chain to go with. But some of them provide grants for specifically for projects that are in the long term as well, and that's something to look at. And I think, yes, which chain you use, which platform is also shaping the project. So we chose Polygon because Polygon is for gaming. And we asked the community and they didn't want gas fees, right? So that was a clear choice for us at the time. There is also Solana, which is good for art projects. I have heard from other projects successfully launching on Solana. And they have the Magic Eden marketplace that essentially helps communities. They helps them. I think it has an extra marketing push. So yeah, I'm happy to answer your questions on that at the end as well, because there might be some technical questions, but I just want to go through this quickly. Yeah, so reaching out to organic influencers. By that, what I mean by organic, there is a lot of influencers, a lot of spam, a lot of people messaging you and providing transactional relationship with you. There will be the moment that they see an NFT project, there is a lot of, hey, I can promo you for $500. I can promo you from zero point 0.1 ETH. A lot of the times this is not working because they do that to everyone and their accounts, specifically on Twitter, become very transactional. So essentially, the best thing to do is to get you find some influencers that you think are reliable and you can trust, and get and approach them and get them involved. And I think that's probably better to be YouTube because they can do a video for you rather than just a promo tweet. So I've tried all approaches. I've tried to negotiate with that. I don't know if all results would be guaranteed, but it's worth trying at least once or twice to see as well. Okay, so this bit here is where the grind begins. So we're looking at promotional activities again. The main purpose of the next stage is to build a community, and I would say allow plenty of time to do that if you want to do it organically. And it's also it could be a little bit. That's obviously the important bit. How can you build a community? So there is a lot of less reliable techniques, and there's a lot of like very much DM and spamming techniques that are used in this space. At the end of the day, we decided not to go with any of those like mass DM to hundreds of thousands of people or anything like that, and we decided to grow organically. And we see the results of definitely being more engaged community and kind of nicer and lacking this kind of again transactional community where people just come in, hey, can I get a whitelist? I mean, it still happens, of course, but you really want to create more organic and trustworthy and people that just believe in you. So I think that's a lot of work to be put in there around being present, doing games and giveaways in your community, and just kind of making them feel the value even before you've minted, right? That's what it's all about. Now there is approaches in which you can really make the opposite. You can be hard to get. You can say, oh, it's closed Discord and I'm only going to invite a few people, and basically creating fear of missing out. That's an approach that you can try. I personally haven't tried it. It's not my style and our team style, but it's yeah, projects do sell out. And then there are the options of making them work hard for their white lists, and essentially making this exclusivity, but that kind of breeds not so great, a little bit of a toxic community, I've heard. So a few strategies there, but I think one strategy that works is the collaboration. So collaborating with other. Yep.
Oh,
Wait.
no.
Does anyone have a question or?
Anyone have any questions? Or Anna could.
Ask to jump.
Can you jump if you have any questions, please? You just type bar space if you have any question. Okay. We have some questions here in the front. You can ask, please.
Amplify them.
Okay.
I was just wondering, what was the inspiration for the fox, and what's the game going to be like?
Oh yeah, that's a great question, and we've got a video to show you more visually. But I can Yeah, I can explain. So the Rogue Fox Guild. So it's obviously the inspiration of a gamers community where essentially foxes are rogues, right? They roam the barren lands. So it's a post-apocalyptic scenario where the foxes are roaming the barren lands and they've survived. All other creatures have disappeared, but it's only the cheeky foxes that have survived, and they have become sentient as well. So they're collectors of items, right? They have all these kind of items that they like to collect and cherish, and they're all different in personality. But we just feel that this is a theme that kind of linked with us, and just to create this kind of quirky but also fun characters that are not bound to anyone, and it's about independence in a way, which we feel that represents the Web3 space. We're all rogues, we're all kind of want to be against the status quo as well in our own way. So if you join Sylvia's talk in a couple of weeks, I'm sure she's gonna talk about that because she's the artist behind it. But yeah, we kind of all got together and thought, let's do Rogue Foxes. And we decided on a creative direction on this, and super happy to be honest with the outcome, if I can say so, because I'm not the artist, right? I can say I love them. So yeah, but the game. Let's just talk about the game after the trailer that we have. So Ren is gonna share in a few minutes. I'm just finishing this up with the final activities that we have that you've got to do. So build up to launch. We've got marketing. Obviously, that's the grind there. A couple of weeks before the launch, and I think look, there's a few stages there where you can really everyone says that selling out when you're bootstrapping, right? Selling out straight away is extremely difficult unless you have like a massive backing. It's rather difficult. So let's be honest about this. You've got to probably have like a 30,000 member organic community to sell 10,000 items, for example, and it needs to be organic. So the key here is to really believe in what you do, and just maybe you can have staged approach, or maybe we can have a smaller collection, or there are few ways forward than, or like, let's be the hype and then we say, wow. I think there is a lot of that happening with the rug pulls and people that are just kind of disappearing because they are creating this hype where the end goal is the collection, not the beginning. So that's what I want to say here. After the launch, after you have the community, post-launch, I would say this is when the real work begins for a lot of projects that are specifically utility focused. And the arts, there are some that are just art, like you buy the art and there is less of a utility. I still think that the best projects just start their work there because they cherish the community, they cherish the holders, and I think that's the work that is kind of becoming your day job at that point, right? So I want to end on this note. So there is an image of the collection. So this is now on OpenSea, and also we are opening the minting again, and on the 1st of April. And I will show you. So let me just show you this slide. So we've got. This is like an avatar tool, and we've got a video on that as well. But you can see your avatar, so you can see your NFTs, and then this is an animated character in browser. You'll be able to access and see your Foxy, and then we're launching the game where you'll be able to play with your avatar. We also have giveaway. So let me just share this. So 3 RFG NFTs will be given from this audience. So for those of you who are patient to wait until the end of the talk, so let's do the videos and the giveaway, Ren, and then I'll get some questions answered. That's my link tree there, Anna Stoilova. So let's do the video and the giveaway if you can, Ren.
Yes, Anna, you need to release the screen share. You need to release the broadcast.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes, please. Okay, so I will show it now. Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the avatar preview. So like for those that already have an NFT, so you can see your rarity scores in here. And like you see, we've done this from scratch. I haven't seen any other project doing this, like a full avatar in browser like this. But it's a beginning of the platformer. So I'll talk a little bit about that while we watch. So yeah, the first milestone of the game is going to be a platformer game, which you see a video in a second. But we have a longer term roadmap where we're building a whole universe where you have different sections that you'll be able to roam with your fox and essentially quest and earn rewards and earn NFT items, which will be tradable, right? So there is the whole utility around that essentially you'll be able to loan your NFT and play with it if you want, but also earn rewards in the game that's going to be tokens. So we're yet to announce big news on that, but we will be launching a game token. So we're exploring this. We already have a Discord fun games with that. It's called Foxy Pesos, which is like virtual currency in Discord. But we're actually going to do a token with this. So if you want to play the Foxy Peso, just get some Foxy Peso before we launch the game. You can join our Discord and meet our fun and nice, engaging gamers and community there as well. Can we do? Yeah. So this is the trailer video. I think we don't have sound, but that's okay. Yeah, no sound.
I'm sorry. My bad.
No worries. No, maybe you're not sharing from the settings. I don't know. It's okay. I think this is the important bit around the feel, look and feel of the first game. So this is the mechanics. Yeah, this is the platformer, which will have different levels, and like you see, the style is very again very different. It's the 2D on purpose. You know, there's definitely we're different than anything else like 3D shooter games. But yeah, this is what makes us different. And yeah, so join our Discord, and you can find more about the game plans. We've got white paper, and all this information is online, so you'll be able to check this at roguefoxguild.com. Okay, so do we have any questions at this point?
So if anybody has any questions, if you can jump.
It was really nice.
Yeah, it was a great presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Caroline. My question is about Polygon. So I got involved in a project where we were looking at other platforms other than OpenSea, and then I have, not myself, but my husband got involved in a project where they were minting on Polygon, and the whole network went down, like the whole thing, like almost all of Polygon, and they have taken on a lot in their recent months, like a lot of platforms have. So I'm curious about your experience about using Polygon. Have you gone through it yet? Are you still going to, or is that currently just OpenSea that you're running?
Yeah, so both are correct. So Polygon gets integrated with OpenSea. So we have our own smart contract on Polygon using the Polygon chain, right? And that's integrated with OpenSea. That's why we went with Polygon as well. That you can still trade your NFT on OpenSea, but it's Polygon. So OpenSea supports Ethereum and Polygon right now. But we minted, we created the smart contract at the end of January, and we didn't experience any problems at the time. I think since then a lot has changed, and definitely I've heard that what you just said a bit more, that the network is a little bit busy, because there were some other games and other reasons why it just got more used. I think they're growing quite massively. So I don't know what to suggest, because it's probably pot's luck. I think we didn't have any problems is a short answer. No problems at all. But yeah, that was end of January. So things might have changed a lot more since then. So what I can say is that there is fewer others. Like Immutable X is another solution, like based on Ethereum, like Polygon, right? Immutable X, Flow. I've heard all of these solutions, and to be honest, we're now looking for the game, other solutions that can provide us with more, let's say, funding and things like that, more support. Polygon are fine, but one thing I can tell you is, let's say on Solana, I feel that there is more ecosystem around it, and people are helping one another, right? If you're on Solana project, you help other Solana projects, and there is kind of comradeship. And on Polygon, it's not exactly like that, right? There is not, not that people are not friendly, are not at all, but it's just there is no sense of belonging. Like, oh, our Polygon project, let's team up, right? So, but the beauty is, yeah, I think technically Polygon has been recommended as a technically good solution. And yeah, I mean, they still give grants, I think, as well. So pros and cons, I think, to everything. Should we do the giveaway while people are here?
Yeah.
Thank you, Carla.
Yeah, we can do the Ren, you have the giveaway ready?
Let me unmute myself. Okay, I will share the screen now. Everybody seeing that? All right, so you jump if you want. Good luck.
Yeah,
Everybody
guys, this is
won.
Super.
This is exciting.
Here you go,
Let's
Marcela.
This wheel is awesome.
Yeah, Marcela Sabino. You.
Is she here?
Thank you.
Yeah, she is.
You need to contact us, Marcela. You need to contact Anna, okay?
Yeah, so guys, basically, join our Discord. That's a condition, please, on the
Yes.
giveaway, to join our Discord, and I'll then instruct you
How to.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, but join our Discord, please, to claim.
But only everybody can join.
Yeah, anyway, anybody can join, but just the 3 will win the NFT today.
All right, let's go run
Let's go
round.
another one. Yes, please.
All
the
right.
second one.
Yay!
Carly. Carly is here.
Yay!
I am. Thank
Yay!
you. I'm so excited.
That's congrats, Carly. You have won Fox.
I'm excited. Is the game appropriate for kids? Because I just think my son will be so excited.
Yeah, yes, it will be. Yes.
Yeah, that's
I would
amazing.
say, I don't know the PEG rating, the official rating, but I would say, yeah, 30
Congratulations.
plus. 30 plus.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right, so, well.
Let's go for the last one.
Then.
Yes, let's go to the last one.
Good luck, everybody.
Number.
Names.
Come on. Hannah, you here?
You here?
Yes, yes, congrats.
Right.
Woo! So join the Discord.
I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the you
No,
claim.
because
Yeah, go the Discord and to do claim your NFTs. Say Anna. Sorry.
yeah, no, just obviously it's super amazing. Finally, especially this event that will have more women in our Discord as well, because yeah, it's just good to get. Basically, yeah, we have a lot of trying to get the balance right, but at the
Yeah.
moment we do have more on the male gaming audience. So
Yes.
I'd love to have you all, of course, everyone. But I'm super excited about the new members of the community. I'm looking forward to seeing you around and seeing you in our Discord. And thank you very much for everything. I do have to run, but thank you for
Yes.
being listening.
Yeah, Anna has to run because she has a meeting right now, isn't it, Anna? But thank you so much for coming and doing this
How's
amazing talk. So do you have any questions? Like, do you still have like 1 minute, Anna, for one question?
What is the Discord? How do people find her Discord?
Yeah, so
You
the
have
domain is, so check out our website roguefoxguild.com, and the direct button is on there, Discord, or direct Discord link is discord.gg. That's a standard discord.gg /roguefoxguild. That's
Yeah, I am on the Rogue Fox Guild, but I'm not sure how to claim that. We can talk about that later too.
yes.
yeah. So you can open a support ticket or DM me or something like that, or DM anyone from the team, and yeah, we'll get it sorted.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good luck in your meeting, and thank you again for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting